Alright guys, so along with Dokkan Fest Future Gohan, we had a few new free-to-play units released as well, including this Future Android 17 right here, who's actually not bad. They gave us two free-to-play Future Androids, 17 and 18. Under the right circumstances, quite honestly, they're probably going to even be better than the summonable versions of these characters, which I do think is very interesting. So, completely free-to-play to farm this guy up. Obviously you got to use your own orbs. Medals are pretty easy to get now. They used to be kind of annoying, but, with the event revamp that the Trunks story event has taken, it's very, very easy to get these medals. So, let me go ahead and level this Android 17 up, well, future Android 17 up, and then we'll go ahead and hop into an event, test them out on some teams, see how good our boy Android 17 is. Alright guys, so here we are on the future category team. So, Android 17, future Android 17 here. He is on 4 category teams, right? The Android/Cell Saga, Sibling Bond Team, Android Team, and Future Team. Now, if we're not talking about a free-to-play event, really this Future Android 17 is going to be best utilized on the Android category team, right? Like, far and away. He's just going to look way 100,000 times better on that team than he is on any other team. So right now, I have him on this Future team. I don't have Future Android 18 with us, and they are designed to be used together, so I intentionally didn't bring her to this fight just because I wanted to see what 17 would do without Future Android 18 around, right? So the other good thing that 17 does is he does actually stack, okay, so he's under 600k there. His attack stat is very, very low, honestly. His super attack animation is pretty good, especially for a free-to-play unit. His attack stat is very low, 10,634. That's within the lowest 20 units I've got, sorted by attack, rainbowed, something like that. As we saw, we got the double super attack there. I did give him full additionals because I felt like, the purpose for which I would be using this future Android 17 is probably because of that attack and defensive stacking, right? So I decided to go ahead and give him additionals. He is going to get stronger as fights go on, right? But there is a pretty substantial chunk, 70% attack and defense, that he does not have when Android 18 is not in the same turn. Yeah, it's same turn. They made another one of these dummy same turn nonsenses. I hate it so much, that the same turn stuff. I don't mind when they restrict it to the team, right? So like if 17, so if his passive was 70% attack and defense, then an additional 70% attack and defense when future Android 18 is on the team, that's okay. But the same turn, that's where it gets a little excessive, because then, like, you have literally no flexibility at all of what you can do with the team, right? Like, you have to, like, that's why that in Android 16, I mean, I'm not, he's not garbage or anything. Like, he's great on the Android/Cell Saga team, I guess, but, like, outside, like, I just find myself not really using him because he's just a worse version of Tech Android 16 if there's not a Super Saiyan 1 or a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan around. Like, I don't know, it's a little bit disappointing, honestly. So I just never use Android 16, like, the same turn restrictions really suck. Really, really suck. I mean, even future Gohan has it, but, I mean, his is at least set up in a way where, like, even if you don't have a full master and student, like, rotation and stuff, like, he's still gonna be good. Obviously, he's 1,000 times better when you have Master and Student Bond category allies all over him, but boy, like, the that's just where the restrictions go too far for me, is the same turn type stuff. So, now, I had him paired up with the SDR Rose here. I haven't really been using SDR Rose too much lately, because, he doesn't really have great defense. I mean, he does give good defense to, the villains on rotation. He's pretty good, but just haven't really been using him that much. All right, so let's see what 17 gets up to. Okay, just a shade under 800k, so linked up with future Android 18 on that Android team, we, for sure, are going to see him above a 1 million attack set, which is going to be nice. And both turns, we did get the potential system additional to trigger as well, so I do like giving full additionals occasionally to some of these units, right? It works out decently, by the way, I kind of get the feeling that, like, okay. A lot of people think there's an LR about to drop, Master and Student Bond LR. Personally, I mean, of all the categories that have dropped, right, with these teams and stuff like that, the Master and Student Bond category just does not need an LR. Like period. They don't need one. Like, there's been, like, categories that have dropped, like, you know, the Wicked Bloodline. They needed, like, a summonable LR, but, you know, really, the Master and Student Bond team, they did just get a summonable LR in AGL Super Saiyan Gohan, right? So, you know, we might see an LR, but Dokkan has released so many LRs recently, I actually don't think they're going to release an LR probably for a few months here. I would expect, me personally, the next LR I expect in Dokkan will be in December. I think December is when we'll probably see the next LR. Very similar to what happened last year when JP went a couple months after LR Goku and Frieza until the next summonable LR, which was LR Trunks and Mai. So I think a similar thing could happen. But, alright, let's head over to the Android category team now. Alright guys, so now we're over here on the Android category team. So, when determining a unit's best attack stat on the Android category team moving forward, the LR Androids are going to be a huge part of this, right? Because of their leader skill. I think for the vast majority of units on this Android team, probably the best attack stat we would see from them would actually be... So we would use MVP 17 as leader, we would bring a friend LR Androids, and then on the rotation we'd have 2 of the LR Androids with the support type passive. But because the 17 needs a future Android 18 on the rotation, I actually think he's going to get, you know, he's definitely going to get a better number with, you know, MVP 17 as leader, and then of course with a friend MVP 17 as well, because both of them give 170% to attack, whereas the Androids only give 150%, right? So, Tech 17, 765,000. Okay, so that's pretty good right away. Wait, was that 1 or 2 support type units? Who's in the 3rd slot? Okay, that's 2 support type units on rotation. Because remember that Android 21 right there is, of course, another Android category support team. Another reason I love this team is we now have 100 support type units on this team, right? Like, pretty decent support type units. Of course, a summonable LR as a support type unit. People still have not wrapped their brain around how broken that is. Summonable LR that's a support type unit. Here, I just want to say this. There's a reason Dokkan has never done that until now. Because it's insane. It's OP. Like, it's just, in this post-Kale and Caulifla world, you know, they're doing, like, crazier and crazier things when they're not putting massive restrictions on characters, right? So here, we're, of course, going to float off the future Android 18. There is a free-to-play future Android 18 who's meant to be used with Android 17, right? But, you know, I kind of did want to split the videos up for the 2 of these units so we could, like, kind of, you know, break their stats down and stuff like that. But the summonable future Android 18, she'll get the same job done, right? It's hard to say which one is better. I mean, honestly, the summonable one, like in like a normal Dokkan event and stuff like that, they're probably going to do more damage. But like if we're talking the Legendary Goku event, that's where like the future free-to-play ones are going to put out a higher damage number, and their defense is going to be better too. Wow, his defense is only 65k. With okay, wait. The LR androids don't give defense. That's right. They give attack and they give ki. Okay. I was like, what? That defense is not great, because like, you know, I'm gonna do a video. We're gonna take both of the future androids into the Legendary Goku event. I'm probably gonna run them as a rotation. I don't know on what team. Maybe the future team or something like that. Okay, nice. Additional super attack, so we can see his attack stat get higher. Remember, there isn't really like a maximum attack stat we're going to see from 17 either, because of the fact that, you know, he stacks his attack and defense. So units like that, there's no real like ceiling that you're going for with them. I think theoretically there is a ceiling, because the stacks only last for 99 turns, right? So like there is actually a limit to it, but it's pretty difficult to hit. Okay, this is not a great rotation right here actually, but we're not at the difficult portion yet. As global players now know, I mentioned this several times, that this Super Saiyan Goku, when he goes into his rage mode, he is actually like Super Battle Road level of strength from an enemy. Like, he hits that freaking hard. But we don't have to worry about that until we get him into his rage mode, right? At that point, that's when it's like, okay, time to take it serious. One other thing I should mention too, this isn't really a reason. This didn't factor into me giving 17 full additionals, but when 17 and 18 are on the same rotation, future of course, 17 does also gain a medium chance to crit from 18 being on the rotation. But it's only a 25% chance to crit, not something to really rely upon or bank upon. So really, like, it's not really that big of a deal. But, you know, I'm just kind of looking at it more from, like, I just want him to stack his attack and defense, more chances anyway. All right, so now he's up to 91k without support on here. But, of course, we do have a future Android 18, right? So this is probably going to be the best rotation we'll see from our boy 17. I do want to leave him in that first slot so we can kind of see how well he'll handle the pressure and the damage that the Super Saiyan Goku will do. Oh, double digits. Okay, not bad. And there he is above a 1 million attack stat. Very good, very good. So I think both the free-to-play 17 and 18, getting them to above a 1 million attack stat, it's not going to be too bad because they do stack, right? So very obviously, like, they knew what they were doing by, you know, giving this future Android 17 a stacking attack and defense. And then, of course, the future Android 18 as well. It's because they want, like, you know, boom, more free-to-play units, more free-to-play options for that Legendary Goku event. And it just makes it a lot easier with a lot of different teams, right? So, okay. We've seen all we needed to see from this future Android 17. I presume he's going to be very useful for the future Trunks Extreme Z area. At the time I'm recording this video, that has not yet released. I think by the time this video goes up, that will have been released, and we'll know if this Android 17 is required for it. I would have rainbowed him anyway because he's a stacking unit, but, you know, most players out there, you might have to give this guy some orbs or something if he is required for the Extreme Z area. You know, but again, he's going to be useful in some other situations as well. Alright, so this is Death Inviting Android, Android 17 Future. His leader skill is the Android category key 3 and 50% to stats, so not anything too crazy there. It's fine. His super attack is the Power Blitz, which stacks attack and defense and does supreme damage to the enemy, which is fine. You know, I really do like units that stack, even if they have, you know, low-level passives or they have lower stats like this free-to-play unit does. It's still useful to have stacking units, right? His passive skill, Our Playtime, is 70% attack and defense, then an additional 70% attack and defense and a medium chance to crit when your team has an Android 18 Future attacking in the same turn. So, you know, I talked about it. I don't really like... I don't mind the restrictions, but the same turn restrictions is too far. I think just being on the same team is sufficient, because the same turn, it makes some units just bad. Because, like, Android 16, like... You're not going to have Android 16 and Super Saiyan, like, LR Gohan, like, linked up that often, because they don't really share links. So, like, you know, 18 and 17, sure, they link good, but I don't know. I just don't like that part of it. And then the final thing is he does launch an additional super attack when there's a Hybrid Saiyan category enemy. That part is fine. That part's fine. His links are Organic Upgrade, Android Assault, Twin Tears, Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, Dismal Future, and Shattering the Limit. You know, so his links, I guess, are fine for, you know, like an Android category team, stuff like that. His 12 key multiplier is 135%, which, you know, that's fine considering he's a stacking unit. I'm not going to harp on that at all. Finally, Android 17 is on a couple of different category teams. He's on the Future team. You know, you can have a Future Android 18 there, so that's fine. He is on the Android team, definitely going to be his best overall team. He's also over here on the Sibling Bond team, where you can rock him, but I don't know. You could do like the LR Androids with like MVP 17 or something like that in there, but I don't really think rocking these free-to-play Future Androids is the best idea. And then finally, there's the Android/Cell Saga team, which, you know, you can rock them in. I'm totally okay with more units being added to this category, because this category just needs more units in general. So there's Future Android 17, definitely good. Probably going to be needed for Extreme Z area. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.